Hey everyone, how are you doing? Hey Sergey. I'm not actually sure Twitch chat is working. I was having some problems with it earlier today. But at least we have the Chess24 chat as our backup. Oh, Ireland confirms that Twitch chat is working. And I want to give a special thank you to Anna, uh, who has donated $10 while I was off stream and makes a special wish for noticing the Chess24 chat. Took a couple of refreshes to get it going. Yeah, you and me both, Tara Dove. You and me both. Hey Snayman, how you doing? Um, so to answer your question, Sergey, I'm not doing very well, and I don't really understand how that happened, but I have the worst headache I think I have ever had in my life. And that's a pretty tall bar because I've had some headaches up in my day. And I have been eating, I have been drinking, I have been sleeping. I have even been taking pain medication, which is a bit of a rarity for me, but nothing seems to be working. So now the test is whether or not chess can alleviate pain. So I ask you to go easy on me, and we'll see what happens. Go see a doctor? No, don't. We don't do that. Don't. Are you from the U.S.? I get the impression that despite the kind of the system for health and benefits and stuff in the U.S., despite it being different to the rest of the world, I feel like the threshold for going to the doctor is much lower, at least among those who have health insurance. Everybody says see a doctor, nobody actually does it. Okay, Ataradov, that I can get behind. I relate to that. Hey Jeff, how are you doing? It's like the polite thing to say. I feel like I'm being told what to do though. I don't like that. Have you tried seeing a physiotherapist? Specific exercises for your neck and spine. Honestly, Sergey, I don't know what happened, but I somehow got into somewhere that told me that that my headache could be caused by neck and spine and stuff like that. Um, but I haven't really done anything about it. And I mean, it's not like my neck is hurting at all, but I guess the body doesn't really work that way sometimes. Us chess players go see the doctor when we're tilted. US chess players. I'm not sure that is true either. Okay, let's play some games. Thank you, Asha. Bru Bru is our first challenger. Been to work? No. I've just been in pain. So I didn't really have anything specific to do today. So I tried sleeping in because I noticed already I woke up at like 8 a.m. and I felt, oof, I have a big headache. So I took some painkillers and I decided let's try to sleep in. And normally, if I just get a good night's sleep, I'm completely fine. No headache whatsoever. But this time it's been trickier. Blue blue. Or maybe I shouldn't be pronouncing it the Norwegian way. Maybe it's more like boo, boo. Regardless, brah, bruh. It's time to make a move. I get a lot of sleep down. The benefits of being unemployed slash self-employed. I usually get 8 hours. Not the last month, but that's a different story. Unrelated. 2 vodkas and sleep in tomorrow. Ooh, Libris. I'm sure that's a good tip for those who do that kind of thing. Okay, I am about to drop the hammer, Tom. But in order to be able to drop the hammer, I need to have an opponent. And bruh, you are causing me anxiety, or you're at the very least hindering my plan of world domination. Uh, so we're getting a new opponent. Hey Alex, how are you doing today? Happy Friday. Okay, this is how much pain I am in right now. We're going for the King's Gambit. And Koichurch is doing the same opening that I have specialized in. Thing about this is that at least I know how to play against this with white. Knight f6. I take and go queen e7. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, but it looks decent. 5 days in a row, time god. Don't you dare say 3 days in a row. Okay, I guess we're doing this. No, we're not doing that. It's okay. So d4 would kind of be what you should do in such situations, but I'm reasonably tilted, so let's do this. Yeah, I didn't think my posture was that bad though, Sergey. I have been complimented on my attempted posture, but it's difficult to kind of keep it going over time. Going to the movies. What movie are you seeing, Alex? Speaking of movie, I mean, I have a big headache, and movies is like, it's the place I cannot go, regardless of whether I have a headache or not. Because the movies, it's just the big screen. I just get an automatic headache from watching it. So all the movies I ever watch is basically on the on an aircraft. Overwatch, really, Pizza Racer? Interesting. Okay, I mean, I'm not a mathematician or anything, but I'm pretty sure that I have captured one more of his guys than he has captured of mine. Weird opening. You can say that again. It's been unusual, but I think it's gonna work out for me though. A bit concerned about Rook G2 though. Somewhat concerned about that. Maybe I should be very concerned about that. Really? I feel like he just gave me a free piece in the opening. And yet, there's some very real problems in my position. Yeah, my development was not great. I will concede that fact. Brexit stream destroying only British players. I mean, I'm sure we can do that as well. Are they really doing the Brexit though? Because the way I understand it, the none of the trade agreements, all the trade agreements were kind of postponed or something. What phase of the Brexit are we talking about? Is Norway a part of the EU? Yes, kind of, don't. So we're in the EU without having to bother with all of that annoying, having politicians and stuff. So basically, what Norway pays to be a part of the EU. Um, so we pay our membership dues and all of that stuff. Um, but we don't actually get to vote or have politicians or have any kind of a say in what the EU does. Um, so it's a pretty sweet deal. We get the trade agreements. We get everything other than political influence. And for us, that's okay. We do okay with that. Can you buy stuff with euro? Well, the thing is that the Norway is not the only place. That there are several member countries of the EU that doesn't use the euro as its currency. Official Brexit, December 31st. Tonight, symbolic goodbye. Okay. We will say goodbye to them. Norway declined the EU membership twice with a referendum. Yes. In 94 and 70 something. I want to say 76. We had a referendum on whether or not we would join the EU, and we decided no. We like to just be a part of what is called the European Economic Zone, EEA, which basically means we're a part of the EU in every shape and form, other than having EU politicians. And to be fair, I think most countries they don't really care about the EU politicians. They care more about their national politicians, and then they have like this fringe group of people in Brussels no one has really ever heard of. It's not such a bad deal. Do they make laws for you? Yes, addict. For us. No, addict. Aren't you Norwegian? Oh, you're Danish maybe. Yes. So Norway has to abide by EU law. Um, and how we do it is that we ratify the laws made by the EU. Um, so it's kind of we incorporate it into our own judicial system. Um, and so we have like a couple of years where we're planning how to adopt the laws, but it's not optional. And right now, as a matter of fact, there's a huge scandal in Norway in which social security payments were denied to people not living in Norway, which apparently was a violation of EU law. And some people were convicted to prison uh, for um, for social security fraud. But in fact, according to EU law, they not only should not have been gone to prison, but they should have gotten their benefits. And so this is a huge scandal in Norway, and it's an example of how EU law actually trumps Norwegian law. But I consider myself a very knowledgeable person, but I would say that this discussion has now gotten so extreme. We may need to have some Norwegian pol sci students in chat to explain further, because I feel like I have been, being making educated guesses and just making it sound good for the last 2 minutes. No, we're not reviewing games. We're moving on with our lives. We're winning chess games essentially. Really, Alex? Are you just making fun or what? What are we talking about? If you weren't listening, then you don't really deserve to be the guy to confirm that everything I said was correct. Because preferably someone who heard what I said should be the ones to confirm yes, Hammer is extremely knowledgeable also about political science. He really should just be given college degrees based on his core knowledge. Yep, I play that as Black Time God, which is why I knew how to beat it. Nacer, really? Do you? Nacer, are you going to school in the US? I would imagine the US is one of the places that are not very good at EU stuff. But on the other hand, being an almost EU citizen, well, almost, I'm not sure. Did Turkey go into the EU? Were you allowed in on the party? Ah, thanks, Alec. Turkey not allowed in the EU just yet. Hmm. And frankly, with Erdogan, I'm not sure you're gonna be successful next couple of years. Are we allowed to say that? Turkey was Turkey is Turkey is interesting. I don't think we talk enough about the fact that a NATO country was involved in a coup in the 21st century. I don't think we fully realize how unreal that is. Albania also trying to get into the EU. Well, I think, Warren, Albania will be able to get into the EU, no problem, I would think. You're landlocked with all the other countries, right? Z Nation, how are you doing? I'm kind of liking my position here. I have some aggressive pawns. Let's play this move. I don't care, Liebers. I don't care. The only coup I care about. Okay, I care a little bit. I care enough to correct myself when having pointed out that I pronounced it wrong. But I don't care enough to admit fault in any way. The only coup I care about is when I take over my city states in civilization. Pinky. Oh, that's exciting. So the go live thing, I thought that was kind of when a lot of work also started. In my experience, when you go live with something, it's going to be a big problem in like 15 different ways. And so you need to be on hand to fix it. I just blundered rook takes e4. Oh man. At least I'm good at seeing my blunders after I make them. Swiss steel is better than Norwegian? Really, Archbishop? Can you explain how the Swiss deal is different than the Norwegian deal when it comes to the European Economic Area? Ulan gifting a sub to um, our interesting our what am I trying to say? Our international relations teacher, Nasser, who is currently telling us about the European Union and all of that stuff. You play Civ 5? Of course, Civ 5, dog god. I haven't really understood Civ 6 yet, but maybe I'll get there sometime. I was actually playing Civ when I got the headache yesterday. Could be there could be some cause for concern or some correlation. All people of culture and intellect play Civ 5. I don't know if that's true, Nisha, but at the very least, all people who play Civ 5 are people of culture and intellect. This seems very checkmatey to me. Hey, Abdu. Civ 5 is overrated. There's some flaws in the game, but it's fun. There's a principle called primus inter pares, meaning that if a country has a clash between its local law and a binding international agreement, although they are at the same level in the hierarchy, international agreement is binding. Yeah, so basically there's been honestly, I cannot emphasize enough how big of a scandal this was. People went to prison because the Norwegian court system did not properly include the international agreements and used kind of a local law instead. And when it was discovered a couple of months ago, they realized that people have been unjustly convicted for social security fraud for like, I don't know how many years, but like way, way back. So much for innocent until proven guilty. Well, the thing is, addict, they were proven guilty with the Norwegian law that said something like you cannot get social security if you live in a different country. But what had happened was that they did not consider some part of EU law that said that it should be parity wherever you live, as long as you live within the European Union or something. So it's not really about whether law is much more complicated than whether or not you're guilty or not. It also needs to address which laws you are guilty of, or whether there are other laws. I really have a big headache, huh? Applicable. What happened to that high-profile kidnapping in Norway? Hiatamen, they have pronounced her likely dead. Nothing has really happened in a couple of months, other than that I think they have declared her dead legally, but a body was never found. Do you play Age of Empires? I played some Age of Empires, Pinky. But for me, one of the main differences between Age and Empire and Civilization is that you can play Civilization at your own pace. And I realized that makes the game much less difficult. Um, but that's how I like it. I feel like Age of Empires is more like StarCraft and Dota and all of those games. Um, and I can't really do that because you have to pay attention to so many different places at once. No, I've never tried that, Albin. Uh, Pinky also related to Age of Empires. We once got raided by the Viper, who is one of the very best Age of Empire players in the world, and he's Norwegian. You should look him up. That's part of the challenge. Of course it is, Alec. It's the part of the challenge I cannot do. It's too difficult. Viper is number one. Wow. Yeah, he switched to Mixer, Tabar Jack. But before he switched to Mixer, he raided us once, maybe even twice. I've been following him on Twitter since. Does Hammer still play competitive chess? It depends on your definition of competitive, I suppose. I still play in tournaments. I don't play very well. I don't know if that's a criteria to be considered a competitive player. I'm playing in 2 weeks. I'm playing in 2 weeks, Hustler. Snyman coming in with a 25-month resub. Thank you so much, Snyman. I don't think anyone would ever accuse me of being humble, Nacer. I don't think any long-time visitor in chat would ever think I was humble. I think it's more like sarcastic. It's a more apt description. Vila knows. Okay, we're moving the pieces back and forth, but at the very least, now we're going to be able to play b4, and we have somewhat better central control than black. It's a starting point. What are you poisoning yourself with? Oatmeal, Beto. My headache was so bad, oatmeal was the only thing I had the energy to make. It's good though. Later, I might poison myself with one of these. It's a painkiller. Yeah, I tried some tea. I have tea here, Beto. It's not really helping that much. Knight c8 is not really the move you want to be making in these kind of situations. Okay, so he's gonna go knight d6. He's gonna challenge my knight. Maybe I just don't care. Maybe I just go here and I take the knight. Is it Corona? No. It's 4 red fruits. Norway might make Pro Chess League playoff. Vila, can you explain to me the system? Because I thought there was a new thing where only France would go on to the final. I haven't been taking it very seriously, partly because I thought there's absolutely no chance we'll do anything. Well, that's a free pawn. I think that's a free pawn we should take. Yeah, really, Snaiman? I very rarely take painkillers. Something special has to happen for me to take a painkiller, but that was this time. And you know how they say sometimes you can take 2 painkillers at the same time? I never did that, except in extraordinary circumstances, of which today was one. But yeah, I support you, Snaiman. Just and also just for the sake of, if you use painkillers less often, I get the kind of feeling that they're gonna be more effective when you do take one. Maybe I'm just making stuff up. Playoff is 13. 13 teams? Wait, what? 13 team playoff? I don't know what that is. 13 teams? That's a significant number of teams. 4 top teams from each division. Okay. Maybe I should start trying more. What do you mean by painkillers? I mean over the counter. I am so vanilla, I consider even the over the counter stuff. I talk about it as if it's the real deal. Not non-final. Yeah, sure, I got that, Vila. Well, 4, I'm assuming, Vila. It's been 4 every single time. Check. Check. I don't know. It's always very tempting to threaten checkmate. Whether or not you're successful, it's tempting to threaten checkmate. Hey, Sentinel. Um, that move is not really stopping my plans, is it? Check. Is he having a perpetual of some sort? That would be bad. I think I maybe did not concentrate enough and should pay more attention to what's going on here. This move looks very safe. Yeah, just a headache, Beto. Teach me chess. I will not teach you chess, Sentinel. However, you are free to try and learn something based on the games I play. Have you ever been referenced in a rap track? I don't think so, Pinky. Not everyone can have a rap song named after them, like Magnus. I kind of understood he would do that, but I had the idea that I would manage to win up 3 pawns in a rook endgame. We're putting it to the test. Wow, Tabar Jack with the chess 24 shout out. What have I done to you guys? You're doing the marketing for me. Yes, Chess 24 does have some very good video series, Sentinel. Very recently, they released a video series by Magnus Carlsen, the king himself, explaining how you attack without sacrificing any pieces. I guess it's basically about what he does very well, which is coordinating your pieces in a good way. Chess Bros must win it all. They're a pretty good team, though, C Nation. They're going to be in the live finals for sure. Okay, let's do this. Hey Slap, how are you doing? Hustler, this is Chess 24. No, Sentinel, I'm not available for coaching. Shreya, are you the real Shreya? That's a weird question, maybe. There's this kid in the UK with that very same name who's supposed to be pretty good. But he's very, very young. I'm not sure he would be allowed to chat in Twitch. He's very laid back. I can imagine, Snaiman. Thank you for. I mean, anyone coming into chat saying I did something better than Magnus, I appreciate. Everyone is 18 on the internet, that's true. Okay, knight h4 was a terrible move. Oh, maybe it's not so terrible. But I think this plan of putting the knight on g7 is more effective for me than it is for him. Maybe I'm wrong, actually. Oof. Yeah, I was not supposed to allow that move. That's not good. Hey, Bunkinator. Yeah, thanks, Sergey. Very solid. That's how I do it. Yeah, I got outplayed. Unfortunate. I guess we're gonna have to take this one. And now he's going to be very tempted to taking with a pawn, but then it's going to be more difficult for him to break through on the king's side. On the other hand, if he manages to break through on the in the center, then I'm very dead. Trade off dark squared bishop? No. This is our hero. This one is going to save the day for us. Didn't you miss knight takes d5? Taberjack, now that you mention it, that does seem like something I probably missed. Yeah. Yeah, that knight h4 move really, yeah, it came as a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. Favorite answer to bishop b5? I don't know, Sergey. It's a pretty good opening for white. What do you think is the average age of viewers? Do you mean my viewers? Because for sure the viewership in the chess part of Twitch is very different to the rest of Twitch. I would guess average age in chat is surprisingly high. Like 25 or above. For sure, Tower Jack. That's what every blunder I make today, I'm gonna blame. Not feeling good. You know what they say. I've never beaten a chess player who wasn't sick. You know what? Average age in chat could be 30, which is extreme for Twitch. Yeah. 25 is definitely much higher than normal, Berenson, on Twitch. I'm 29 years old, Pawn Eater. Mm. It's not the greatest position I've ever seen. It's not the worst either. I'm not down any pieces. I'm somewhat concerned he's going to go knight a4 at some point. Thanks, Amalia. Well, Sergey, I think a lot of the top players are actually playing this opening with white recently. So you're not the only one struggling to figure out what to do against it. I really want to get my bishop here. That would be very nice. Not sure if we're going to make it happen though. He's going to go g4 no matter what. Let's try. Ha, Pinky, that's a good strategy. Sometimes I feel very strange with short hair, so I try to grow out the beard as well. Well, I say grow out the beard. Really, what happens is that I don't make the effort to shave. But That's one way of saying it. Another way of saying it is just, yeah, I let it grow out. It's a fashion statement. Marowan does win the age competition with 59. Yeah. I think it's very cool what we've done. Or really what chess.com started, and then others have continued with chess on Twitch, and the the demographic being so much different to what is normal. Because that's also something that Twitch notices, I'm sure, and it's beneficial for them that they don't just. Oof. Feels bad. He blundered. I'm sure Twitch also likes that they're not only just kids, a platform for kids. That is a piece, as far as I can tell. He couldn't take back, because then I would take his rook. So it was a very interesting game, and then two blunders in a row decided it. Good game, just like it. I'm pretty fond of chicken, MSU. Bear can get you 50 rating points. Really, Pinky? I'm not sure that's true. I've tried both with and without. I haven't gotten any clear, significant, statistically. What is it called again? Um, Statistically significant results. Have you taught any player before? Yeah, Sentinel. I have done some coaching, not with massive success though. When I coach, it's more like an exchange of ideas, and then hoping that the person I'm coaching manages to extract or understand a new level of chess. I don't know. That's basically what all coaches do, though, I feel. You just gotta expand a student's horizons. Maybe that's different for different levels, but for instance, what I would consider a good coach for me and for high level players is someone that um, excites you about a topic or something enough so that you go home and start looking at it yourself. Because when you're good, you realize that having a coach is nice, but in order to get really good, you have to put in the hours yourself. And so if you have 1 hour of coaching, you should do like 15 hours of working yourself. Um, and that's someone, I think some people use coaching as a cushion. But on the other hand, some people have a, I mean, not everyone has the same goal with coaching. I mean, not everyone is trying to become, the best chess player ever or top player in the world. So yeah, it's tricky. Coaching is very tricky. Because if we were 100% sure what worked for everyone, then many more people would be very, very good. But because different people have different needs, and different things work for different people. Yeah, coaching is tricky stuff. When will you write a book? Writing a book is very hard work, Tubberjack. And I am not big on hard work. So I'm gonna say writing a book, probably never. Oh, we're not opening that can of worms, MSU, when I have a headache. And that is not the cure for my headache, let me assure you. Okay, we're gonna. I was thinking about attacking something over here, but we can also use our rook on the open file. You made an effort at some point and now you're just coasting on it. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Was that effort made in chess or some other endeavor? Fiataman. Okay, thanks for hanging out, Hustler. Okay, we're just gonna put pieces in the middle. I don't really know how we're gonna win this, but putting pieces in the middle can't be too bad. Putting an effort into chess didn't work. Yeah, if only we had the recipe, Yataman. Chess Weeb, I don't. I mean, I consider myself fond of the Beatles, but I did not understand that reference. Maybe I'm not so knowledgeable about the Beatles after all. Wow, Albin has you all beat 65. Is there a good strategy to play against people who recklessly push pawns at your king? Well, I mean, if it's reckless, it does seem like something you can punish, right? Undisputed. They say that an attack on the flank is best met by a counter in the center. But other than fortune cookie wisdom, I don't think I have anything for you today. I don't know if that's true, Bunkinator, but I feel like one of the benefits of chess is that you can train much more without fatigue becoming an issue. That's basically why, I mean, it's partially why we have prodigies, right? because you without the physical aspect, you can number one train more when you're a kid, but also you can um, you're not reliant on your body being physically strong the same way other sports require. My stream title saying 5 days in a week does not explain the Beatles reference. Wow, Tubberjack. Are you crediting me for saying one thing that made you gain 100 points on your chess rating? That's pretty sick. Wow, he tried. Very dirty. Very, very dirty. He tried and he failed. That's what you get. Yeah, good game, Viral. I was planning to go g5, but now I kind of regretted my choice because I realized I cannot defend it afterwards. I guess we're playing like this. It's been a heartache. How long since you've been lefonged successfully? I am never successfully lefonged. The fact that you guys keep trying and trying is so ridiculous. It just never happens. Never ever happened. I don't know. It's been a while, Pinky. But even the times when I lose a bishop and a rook, I still win like 75% of the time. Because people get very nervous after successfully lefonging, people get like really freaked out because they realize if they do not win that game, it's gonna be very shameful. So very often, people who manage to get the bishop and the rook after this very sneaky bishop move. But even these situations where white is up a bishop and a rook, I win so often, so often. I'm only playing against Chess 24 premium members. Triatino. Lefonging has been a term for a very long time, though, Tubberjack. But I mean, when did it originate? It must have been like more than 5 years ago, no? What I like is the fact that I knew the term lefonging before I knew about the guy named Lefong. That's what I find funny. That I knew about the term before I knew how it originated and why. No surprise factor against me, Hiataman. I am very attentive today. Wait, am I not attentive? Yeah, I am. I'm winning so much rating points. Winning every game. So easy. You watched the first Lefong live? Really, Tactico? That's something to tell the grandkids right there. My gosh. If that's not a claim to fame, I don't know what is. Can you Lefong over the board? I highly doubt it. I find that very unlikely to be a thing. Wow, taking with the pawn was not the best move. What is Lefong? When you put your bishop out on the edge, trying to catch the opponent in a pre-move. Wow, did Perpetual Lefong Anna Ulan? That's very rude. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Thanks, Patzer. What is our next move on this quest to world domination? I guess we're doing this, trying to get the knight to c4. King of the Hill game. It's very sneaky. He tried doing that to me once. He failed. I don't know. Taking with the pawn f3 was seriously strange. But I don't feel like I've punished it properly. White has a much better position than he deserved from that opening. Hey Marius, how are you doing today? Is there a big hype about Holland? Let's see. The guy scored 5 goals in 30 minutes of Bundesliga soccer. Norway is soccer crazed. Yeah. There's some hype, Tactico. There's quite a bit of hype. I thought there was a chance he would play b4, but I kind of didn't believe it. I think maybe rook c8 is very clever. Rook c8, knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. I don't know. Because if knight c4 takes b5, that's actually not that nice for me, I think. Or maybe I can just go queen d7 then. Take. This is the kind of situations where I lose on time. Thinking for way too long. Okay, I think I've decided. Biannual swim. Marius, indoor or outdoor? Is a very important question. Because if you're only swimming 2 times a year, I feel like that's the kind of person who will do something crazy with his friends during winter time. It could be one of those people doing the outdoor. I am very macho. I will swim in freezing water. Okay, indoor. Those people exist, but Marius is not one of them. Good to know. I feel like I'm getting all my pieces in good positions now. I need to move faster. Ice hockey probably less popular than chess. Nah. Ice hockey is more popular in Norway, but yeah. It's there's probably less of a gap than you'd think. Yeah, I'm gonna let him take this guy, probably. They send a lot more chess on TV than hockey. That might actually be true. But they do show the... I don't think that's true, actually. I mean, they show the Norwegian Hockey League, which is quite a few games. It's pretty expensive making any kind of a broadcast where so many people are involved. I'm not really sure what's going on. Probably I should have played this move earlier. Okay, who cares? We got the win on time. It was not. The last 30 seconds had nothing to do with chess, but we are result oriented and we moved faster than the opponent. It's what counts. How does the mouse end up invisible? Maybe I'm just quicker than my own shadow, box in a cage. Maybe I'm the Lucky Luke of chess. Ooh, good call time. I didn't see that. I was pretty happy with my maneuvering of the bishop, but that thing you point out was I should have played that. I say I'm the Lucky Luke of chess and box in a cage just goes, yeah, makes sense. He accepted that as an explanation. Hammer, Lucky Luke of chess, mouse disappearing. Makes sense. No need for further investigations. MSU, you don't need to write down your moves in rapid chess. Luke? Well, that is true. That is true, Marius. The role of Lucky Luke in chess has already been taken. But he doesn't really have the pace to prove it, though. Disappointingly. He has the name, but not the pace. That's gonna hurt. Top action movie from the 80s. I'm not sure. I guess Die Hard? What are my options? Give me some options. If you're gonna quiz me on such stuff, which is very difficult to come up with or remember everything when when asked, be so kind as to also include a list of your favorites. You like the longer hair, Pawn Grubber? Don't you worry. Give it 2 to 4 weeks and it's gonna be back. More difficult to control than ever. Just let me have this week of peace. Magnum, First Blood, Terminator, Arnold or Stallone, RoboCop, Bloodsport, Predator. So far, I mean, you haven't even mentioned a single movie I know, so that's pretty impressive. I like me some of that guy though. I like the guy who went and became Putin's buddy. I've watched a lot of his movies. No, not the French dude. Mrs. Doubtfire. Uh, a lot of homework to do. I wouldn't even know where to look. Seriously, not a single one of you know the name of the guy who went to Russia to be Putin's buddy? I'm kind of ashamed of you guys. That's not very good. Oh, there's more than one escaping to Russia, really? Okay, never mind then. Really? Yes, thank you, Atara Dove. Steven Seagal. Con Air was pretty good, Marius. I agree. He beats up the bad guys and then it's over. Yeah, but at least he beats up the bad guys for 2 hours. Ship it. Hey, Paul Monsieur. Oh, you did say Steven Seagal? Really? I have a headache. I can only read like every third message. Once in a while? Really? I must have missed your messages, Pinky. But yeah, you are right. I haven't seen The Matrix. No, we're big on copyright law, Hoisin. We don't mess with the big bad. Well, they're not bad, they're just trying to make a living. Oh, man, did I really go into this without having any idea how to play this opening? Who's the most famous Norwegian filmmaker? Um, I was once in a there was this newspaper making like these are the stars of to tomorrow or something, and I was in a photo shoot with like a model and then with a movie director and some other stuff. But I forget the name of the movie director. I think it's Joachim Renning. No, I don't think Norway has a really big famous movie star. MSU. But recently I discovered that Richard Ayodi is half Norwegian, which is pretty crazy because in Norway we are obsessed with people having Norwegian origin or some kind of relationship with Norway whatsoever. Um, And so I was very surprised that he was half Norwegian because I'd never heard of that kind of being referenced in Norway ever. Axel Henny, I don't know. The guy with the beard, I guess, was pretty famous for a while, but it's not like movie star, right? Ayowadi. That's way too many syllables for me to manage, Fred. Hibu, yes, that's the one I think. And apparently, there's a Norwegian girl who's a big star in a TV show these days, Searching for Alaska. Are we doing a geography quiz? I must have missed the question. America's most Nordic state. Everyone's gonna say Minnesota, but then it turns out it's like North Dakota or something. Yeah. You're welcome, sir. 5 days a week. I'm here 5 days a week. That's a free rook. Okay, we're gonna need to checkmate this man before we run out of time. Uh, I figured out I needed to give checkmate because I was low on time. And so I thought, well, let's put the knights to work. Let's see what they can do. Let's undo that pre-move capturing black's rook and see if we can give some checks. Yeah, that's a pretty nice mate. I agree, guys. That's pretty sick. Could have been with a pawn. 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah. Is Augustine more known for soccer or chess in Norway? Definitely chess, Patserlab. That was crazy. Thank you, Galactic. It was I was in some time trouble, and I didn't notice until my deci seconds started running. But it was a good, nice recovery. I'm just chatting with the peeps, Galactic. I have a headache, you know. I'm not head's not working 100%, but we got the nice checkmate, so it's working just well enough. See you around, Pinky. What pawn are we gonna push? This one. Okay, one more hour. One more hour, and then I'm going to bed. If you two want to be checkmated in beautiful style, Go over to chess24 and send me a challenge. Right now. Mm. I have tea. Ship it. It's not working. Nothing is working. Second biggest city in Germany? Probably Berlin. Whenever someone asks a question in chat, you can just be certain it's a trick question. You might be dying. I wouldn't rule it out. North Dakota, trick question. Second largest city in Germany, you know it's a trick question. It's Hamburg, really? That's such a disappointing answer. If you're gonna post questions in chat, at least make them trick questions. Berlin is the biggest. But I assumed like there's this area in the middle of Germany, and I forget what they call it. But in this area is like four cities melted into one. And I don't believe for a second that Berlin is bigger than four cities. But I forget what that area is called. It's called like a who calls who something. What's the easternmost state of the US? Marius, you can't ask the questions that Ulan just did. At the very least, if you're gonna ask trick questions, be original. More original than asking the same thing or commenting the same thing Ulan did, like literally 1 minute ago. But also, I knew that one already because it's my Magnus and I. It's our go-to. Whenever we want to trap someone, we ask about the northern, eastern, western, and southernmost states of the U.S. Capital of Nigeria? What kind? Do you guys have a problem with the concept of trick questions? Capital of Nigeria is not a trick question. Hawaiian, yeah, that one is the most southern. Surprisingly, Hawaii, people struggle as much with Hawaii in that one as with the eastern one. No, Alec. So the idea is that Alaska is both the westernmost, easternmost, and northernmost, because you know that kind of row of volcanic islands crosses the date line. So at the point where it crosses the date line, it's both the easternmost and westernmost. Wow. Here's Marius in the chat with all of his Um, mathematicians Vorspiel questions. You just know that question has been asked so many times at his flat some Saturday. I'm kind of scared. I've been taking a couple of pawns, but I'm now at the point where the amount of pawns I've taken do not outweigh the kind of the uncomfortableness I'm feeling about all the pieces being kind of grouped together, pointing close to my king. Oh no, Alec. Hawaii is much further south than Florida. Am I really not winning this easily? I'm very disappointed in the game of chess. How is this not an easy win for me? I might actually be in danger. I might be checkmated. This is so freaky. Ooh, bishop e3 is also a checkmate, actually. I might actually be dead here. This is not good. Anonymous, gifting a sub to Gondolias. Thank you so much, Anonymous. This looks scary. Yeah. It's so silly because I had such a good position early on, but I may have been somewhat nonchalant. I may have underestimated the danger. Guitar Hero streamer. Really, Alec? You and Buddha, huh? Okay. We're gonna have to take this one. At least we're not getting immediately checkmated. I avoided checkmate for long enough to be able to win on time. That's about the level I'm at. That's what I can do. One v one Buddha? Wow. Is that a thing in Guitar Hero? Are you gonna beat him? He looks pretty good. Bad performance? Well, you say bad performance, I say good result, Poison. You got lucky, says Time God, but we will inform him that luck is no coincidence. That was very good timing. I wish more people in chat would say I'm lucky. Maybe I can get a sponsorship. Maybe they can give me millions of kroners to say luck is no coincidence. You too? I mean, if they want to give me money, I'll take it. I learned from Alec TV how to be a proper sellout. If someone wants to give me tons of money, I will take it. And I will say proudly, luck is no coincidence. I wish I had Alex kind of big face scene change for that. Would be so much more dramatic. Learned that flagging from boat test? No, Maddie. I have been flagging like that since before boat test played chess, let me tell you. Yeah, I know, Alec, but it needs to be set up though. The timing has to be right. The moment has to be right. For the next moment, maybe. Did I forget to take this one? We'll do it now. Order these cities from north to south: Chicago, Portland, Toronto, Philadelphia, and New York. That's probably very tricky. It's probably something freaky. It's probably something like Chicago, Toronto, New York, Portland, Philadelphia. If it's a proper trick question, that is the correct answer. And if it's not the correct answer, then you, sir, have not given me a proper trick question. And I say shame on you. Win-win for me either way. Why on earth is this so expensive to do? It's not expensive, Alec, for the true loyal followers of my stream. It's just expensive for you because you never hang out. Okay, turns out he does have quite a few hammer points to spend on the marking of messages. But I guess it wasn't all that expensive after all, sir. If you had enough for 2 messages. Oh, Portland is the furthest north of all of them? Really? Oh, man. And I put it the furthest south. So I was close, right? I understand that Portland was supposed to be weird. I just made, I got it wrong. What kind of weird? I don't know. I'm gonna excuse myself for that. At least I identified Portland as part of the trick. Yulmak, we don't talk about that. I guess good for me, Alec. Good for me that the weirdos give up their points so that they can do less weirdo stuff in the future. How many months have 28 days? I don't get it. I don't get the trick question. February is 29 days this year. I know because Buddha was streaming that he would be giving. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the circumstance, but it was something like he was giving 2020 um, all his attention 365 days a year or something. I got to correct someone on the number of days in this year. I was very happy. Okay, that move I regret. I'm going back. Order capitals from north to south: Dublin, London, Oslo, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Helsinki, and Berlin. These ordering north from south, these are really good. That's a proper quiz. I really like that concept. Also, I don't like the amount of time I have left. So let's make some quick moves to rectify that. I'm going to take this guy next move. I'm not going to take that after all. He's playing pretty well, Mr. Chespatzer Lab. He's down a pawn, but he's protected against some of the threats I made. Now we're going to get the rook involved. And we're just going to sacrifice our rook for this bishop. That's the goal. Okay, move this one out on the side. Highlight your message for only 2,000 points. Yes, Marius. It's a good deal. I don't care what Alex says. It's a very good deal. Value for hammer points right there. All the months have 28 days. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm disappointed in myself right now. Okay, what are we doing? We're doing Dublin, London, Oslo, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Helsinki, Berlin. Okay, so furthest north of those is Oslo. No, wait, Stockholm, Helsinki. I want to say Helsinki, Oslo, Stockholm, Copenhagen, Berlin, Dublin, London. London being the southernmost. That seems like a proper trick question. Aster, if you give more silly trick questions, then that's a timeout. We are more refined chat than falling for the standard magnetic North Pole question. We're too smart for such childish trick questions. We expect a certain degree of we require a high standard of trick questions. The North Pole stuff will not be that. That's something you can do with your 5-year-old nephew. It's not for an elite chat of chess players and Civilization 5 players and generally cultured beings. Yeah, I take back magnetic. I take it back, Ulan. Because the magnetic North Pole is not at the top, is it? Because there's some trick questions where you have to say magnetic because it revolves around a compass. But this one, I guess, does not. Okay, Wu Yog. It's time to make a move. Let's go, sir. You go directly south from San Francisco. What is the first country's land you hit? Really? Box in the Cage is really stepping up right now, supplying us with some really high class trick questions. All that North Pole nonsense has to get in a line compared to our ranking of capitals north to south and other quizzes. I don't really care about what's south of San Francisco. I want to know whether or not I got the European capitals right. This is also very important. When we do have a trick question that was answered, I deserve to get to know the answer. Raid for 20k, a good deal? Yeah, I agree, Howard. Have to switch Dublin and Berlin. Almost perfect. Okay, so I was okay, that was so close though. I got Helsinki, Stockholm, and Oslo in the right order, and I got that London was the southernmost. That is so close. Okay, very good question, Maddie. Oh, Maddie was the one with the capital question, but Box in the Cage has also been a good supplier. Shout out to both guys. Working class hero. Are you saying there's something wrong with my repertoire, or are you saying there's something wrong with your brother? Because my stuff is foolproof, but apparently it's not brother proof. Chiropractor, I think that's a timeout. If the answer to your trick question is incorrectly, that is like 3-year-old nephew level. That is even worse than the North Pole one. Really, Box in the Cage? I am skeptical of your logic there as well. That is gonna need a referee's uh, decision. Sailing straight south from San Francisco, you are saying that you continue in the ocean and you pass Antarctica and somehow manage to avoid the worst parts, the ice in Antarctica, and you come up on what, the Chilean side, and manage to come to Canada? To Canada? I'm not buying that. Something is off in that one. I never said you stayed in an ocean. I'm not accepting that one. Yeah, but I think we're suggesting that your sailing hits an end point before you can return north. Yeah, I'm not accepting that one. B4 was played before by Fabi? Well, that must have been some time ago. That must have been several games ago. This trio guy is playing pretty well. This is a very tricky pawn structure to navigate. I don't think I played it very well, in fact. This pawn on h5 is nicely holding up my pawns. I should have put my pawn on h5. I should have put my pawn on h6. So that I had the option of breaking up on the king side. h5 was really dumb. Because now, basically what happened is that I closed down the position on the king side. And he's gonna, try to open up on the queen side. Marius. Et tu. Et tu, Marius. This is not the quality of trick questions we come to expect. Yeah, but the equator question was so clearly some kind of mathematician's inside joke, Marius. That we don't want to get any of that mathematician drunkenness on us. I think I'm just gonna protect the pawn. Sometimes when someone attacks your pawn, you should just protect it. He played very quickly in response though. Can I take this one and go g5? No, I'm not that cool. Two p meters? Oh, I'm sure that got a ton of laughs with your math friends, Marius. But here we're just giving you a sigh. Remind us, what was the question again? Can you play against GMs? We don't have any grandmasters challenging us. Although I will say there's a fair chance this trio guy is a GM. Because he has GM in his username and he's playing decently well. Okay, I take that back. Earth 1 meter fatter in all directions. I'm guessing the math behind it is actually pretty easy, Marius, right? So we, the chat, find it pretty tricky, and then to some other people, it would just be completely obvious. You want to see Tilted Hammer? Sorry, Doan. We can't do Tilted Hammer today because I have a big headache. I don't have the energy to be tilted. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. I'm guessing I'm winning because this knight is in trouble. Most populated country per square kilometer? Singapore, right? Marius, the funny thing about those kind of things, circumference and stuff like that, it's math I knew way better in elementary school than I did even in high school. Not to mention today. When you get older, or for some of you, maybe you already have kids, seeing as how chess Twitch is so old. Um, but yeah, as a kid, you're shocked at how bad your parents are at helping you out with your homework. But really, when you yourself become a parent, it's been so many years since you actually learned this stuff or repeated this stuff that you too are just going to be completely stuck. If you have kids, you shouldn't be watching Twitch because you have to take care of your kids or because you're too old. Don't. And be careful about the answer. Both. Wow. They have no respect. But they'll learn soon enough to respect their elders. Okay, it's time to win a piece. It's time to win a piece. Just relax. I'll try not to make it hurt. Okay, so if I do this, then he's gonna capture everything and he's probably doing fine. So we're gonna have to take this one first. Now he has to take back with the queen. Because otherwise bad stuff will happen. Anonymous gifting a sub to Thanos. Thank you so much. For the broadcaster, I guess an older audience is better because they have more money to spend. That, I think, in general, is absolutely correct, Nargathronic. But at the same time, the concept kind of Twitch and how Twitch so heavily relies on donations, I think is, I don't know. I don't think that's the easiest concept for most people. At the very least, non-Americans. So sometimes it weighs. Oh, we're having. Can you name a country that only borders countries without a coastal line? I've heard that question before. But yeah, I don't remember the answer. It's very difficult. Hey, Benes. How are you doing? Double landlocked, yes. Austria, really? Austria? I thought Austria has a border to Italy. No? So I want to go knight g4, but then he can just play h3. So I probably have to do this. Uzbekistan and Liechtenstein. Huh. Okay. Okay. Let's go back and then see if we can find something better. We'll start with this move. What is happening? Hammer giving away the bishop pair? Yeah, it was a bad idea. Okay, but it worked out in the end. We got a free piece. But as a general rule, don't give away the bishop pair, kids. If you're not winning a piece immediately, it's not worth it. Yes, we should respect the bishops. I don't care. I don't care about anything other than respecting the bishops. I don't care about anything other. Isn't that the song? Then something, something, something. Part of knowing where I'm going is knowing where I'm coming from. I watched while I was in Bergen doing commentary on the Tata Steel tournament. One of the things I watched, let's just say more than I should, was the YouTube channel React channel, which is very entertaining. It's a good concept. And there were kids who didn't know One Tree Hill. Can you believe that? It's outrageous. TV2 Gulona set. I was doing commentary with TV2. Feels bad you didn't know. You missed out. I'm not playing this very well, but this should be good enough. They need to post it somewhere on the webpage. Yeah. We mostly use kind of Twitter or stuff to inform. It's bad news if we can't get as many viewers as we had the opportunity to. That basketball high school TV series? Maddie, you have 96 in your username. You should know One Tree Hill. But yes, the answer to your question is yes. Sokolsky, no, I'm not playing the Fagerness tournament. I'm not really playing many tournaments this year. Who's your favorite to do commentary with? Nargath Running, I don't know about favorite, but I will say that we brought on Nils Gandelius, the second highest rated player in the Nordic countries, recently. And he was really good. He was really, like, properly really good. So I'm looking forward to the next time we get to have him on the show. And he's also like the most stand-up guy you can imagine. He's like Luke McShane class of person. It's been a while since I played this. I vaguely remember something in my high school years. But capture. No, I didn't want to do that. Oh, those click to moves. I am so sick of the click to moves. Just as we were gonna finish this day with 100% win rate. The click to move rears its ugly head. Hey Arda. Man, if that's not tilting, I don't know what is. So close to going through the stream. Undefeated. 100% win rate. And Syrian, he's not messing about. He gets a free piece through the idiocy of our chess sites. Maybe I can do something here. Ooh, maybe I can do something. We haven't given up on this just yet. Happened again? Yeah, second time this week, Maddie. But I'm opening up my H file down toward his king. I mean, we won worse positions than this previously. Yeah. That was kind of it, though. He moved his king away from my rook's influence, and then that was kind of it. We're gonna have to do something really special here to make this work. Hmm. Okay, I think we'll do one more game after this. I can't stop on a loss. So Darth Kata, you'll be the last game of the day, and unfortunately, Knife of Death and Rodolph, we're gonna have to reconvene on a different day to give you the chance to beat me. And hopefully you can do it fair and square. As opposed to Syrian. Just being. I realize it's not his fault that the stuff malfunctioned. He's got that killer instinct. Once he has the opportunity to win, he's not looking back. He's just continuing as if nothing happened. Jan would say, let's enter Flagville. Honestly, that's what I'm trying. I'm just not being as obvious as Jan. Maybe Jan is good enough of a chess player that he can announce his intentions way before. Free piece, free piece. Why did I move? The only reason I moved this knight was so that I could capture his knight. And then you guys distracted me with some kind of silly question, and I forgot to take the knight. Oh man, this is properly depressing. I guess we'll go back. What are the odds of him noticing that the knight is under attack when he didn't notice it last time round? Okay. It was worth a try. It was worth a try. Oh man. Queen takes c7, asks Halvard. You think? You think that would have been a better move? Yeah, really? Oh man, and now I'm getting killed on the dark squares. Yeah, this is not good. He's forcing me to move my pawns further up the board, and then he can just go back again where he came from and start attacking all of my guys. It's not good. This is a YOLO situation right here. I'm not even going to calculate, I'm going to count afterwards. I think this worked out very nicely. I'm trying to do some counting in my head, and the counting is working out pretty favorably for me. And the most beautiful checkmate. Oh my gosh. Is this the stream of the most beautiful checkmates you've seen, or what? Oh my gosh. First, the two knights working together, and now a perfect rook, bishop, knight checkmate. Easy win. Still 100% win rate. 100 bits from Pizza Racer. Thank you so much, Pizza Racer. We have survived. We have gone to the depths of the Viking place. What's it called again? Valhalla, and back to give the checkmate just in time. Yeah, I really like that checkmate, Skissa. I will readily admit to going, please go king e6, please play king e6, please play king e6 in my head. What about bishop takes h6? Syrian, I clicked my bishop, and then apparently I clicked the pawn afterwards, after I unclicked the bishop. But these servers don't seem to respect the unclicking maneuver. Well, it's the same for all the platforms, Working Class Hero. Thank you, Skissa. Bishop takes h6, still theory, of course. Completely planned, whole game. Not taking the free knight, also planned. Okay, it would seem Darth Kata is not here, so our last game will be against Knife of Death, after all. And are we going to play a proper opening, or are we going to continue playing nonsense? I think nonsense has worked so well today. We're going to continue doing that. Yeah, Thanos. That was definitely my thinking. Absolutely. 100%. If this man plays h4, we're sounding the alarm bells. But we're fine. We're fine. No problem. h4 probably would have been very dangerous. And then e5 and some sacrifice with the bishop. But we're fine. It's okay. We're not getting checkmated today. Not yet, at least. Look at this. You may say that I'm not very aggressive initially, but I'm not the only one. No, I didn't have the proper follow-up there, but now I have superior control of the center with my pawns, at least. My pieces are kind of still a bit laid back in their mission. Can we go grab a bishop, maybe? We'll give it a go. Some hedgehog? Yeah, hedgehog adjacent, I would say, Maddie. It's not as bad as it looks, I think is fair to say. But on the other hand, it looks very bad. He could have played e5, actually. E5 knight moves and some sacrifice, potentially. What are you talking about? I got the bishop pair. He's got nothing. He ain't got nothing on me, boy. This is how you play if you're good. This is how you play if you're cautious. And this is how you play if you're me. It's still a bit dangerous, I will admit. Okay, now it's not dangerous anymore. This is how we play it. I think this is fine. Let's go. Let's go. Pawn sacrifice. Let's go. This is how we do it. Let's go here. Because now if bishop g5, I can take. So he needs to go knight e3, but then his knight is blocking his bishop. Big strats. Big strats. He can go d6, but he's not going to see it. We're fine. He didn't see it. We're fine. But we're going to play a6 to control that. And then we're going to go with the bishop. He's going to go bishop e1. He thinks he's very clever. Look at this. What a pawn sacrifice. High class plays all the way. Okay, that was a really dumb move. Because now my pawn is basically blocking this diagonal. h5, good move. Okay, I'm not super happy with my latest moves. Okay, I'm hating basically all of my moves now. This was not very well played. Okay, it was enough to win. Those time scrambles are weird, but it was enough to win. It was interesting there in the middle game, and then we got short on time, and it stopped being very interesting. I think e4 was a mistake in general, because I really don't want to block off this bishop's diagonal. And once I go e4 also, his knight is just the perfect blockading piece. So I'm basically just putting the pawn standing in the way of where I want to put my pieces. And I'm also, yeah, I should have gone like bishop here. But yeah, it was a really fascinating game. Not boring. No, it was not boring. It was fascinating. And at the end, I didn't really know what to do here. I think maybe I should have done like my bishop back and then had my queen point. I don't really know. I thought I was being clever with this h5 move, but really it just turned out to be a big weakening of my position. Because here I'm stuck. My rook cannot really get into the game. This rook cannot get into the game. And I'm down a pawn, which I cannot take back. So here I'm probably completely lost. Because there's no squares for my pieces. And I was doing very well just like 3 moves earlier. What mouse do you use? I don't know, just something I bought at the store. It's nothing special. ADX Ultimate Gaming. I don't think my mouse matters so much, but my technique in moving around the mouse is not very good. If you kind of look at, for instance, Penguin, it's so crazy how quickly he manages to move all the pieces and stuff compared to what I do. I don't think that's a brain thing. I think that's a mechanic thing, which is weird. It's really fascinating how the mechanics of moving the pieces actually does matter in internet time scrambles. Good to see you too, Belly. I am gonna retire my headache and say good evening to all of you. Thank you for following. Thank you for hanging around this whole week. We've done 5 days of streaming, and apparently my head couldn't take it anymore because I am not feeling that great. So I'm gonna take some rest. I'll be back next week. Scheduled to be decided, but also to be announced. If you want a head start on knowing when I'll be streaming next week, do sign up for our Discord channel. Really, I removed the Discord command as well. Okay, let's see if we can find a. Oh no, Mubot is just being very slow. The Discord, it's an interesting place. And one of the things you will figure out there is when I'm streaming next. But also you can have fascinating math discussions with Marius and Slumka and stuff like that. And betting discussions and Magnus's sponsorship deals. It is the bulletin board of our community. So if you are on Discord, sign up. If you don't know what Discord is, you might want to check it out. Is anyone gonna redeem their raid? We have had the last 2 streams, we have had people redeeming who we're gonna raid for 20,000 hammer points. So this is my call to check whether or not you guys are using it, because if not, I will be deciding who to raid today. And we are raiding, let me open this. Who's streaming? Let me refresh. So we raided Monkey Chess yesterday. So maybe we'll raid someone else now. But I am not such a big fan of Guitar Hero. I think we're continuing the great Norwegian Netherlands relations by once again extending our raid to Roland. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll be back next week. I don't know whether it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but it's going to be one of those days. Remember that tomorrow Magnus is playing his match in the Banter Blitz Cup. It's a cup organized by Chess24. I was trying to scroll to figure out when it starts. It starts at 3 p.m. tomorrow. 3 p.m. Europe tomorrow. That's 9 a.m. Eastern. And Magnus Carlsen going up against Rauf Mamedov, one of the best Azerbaijani players in the world. And Magnus will be doing commentary on his games while playing. So that's going to be an exciting event in case you cannot wait until next week for more of your Norwegian chess streamer born in the 90s, 1990 content. Uh, but I'll be back to, next week, and bye everyone.